welcome back to the Hangover the Hotline, where we talk about dumb shit and get drunk in the process. I'm your host, Mikey, and here's the other host, Justin. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Shut up. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Today we're going to be getting a little blitzed and talking about some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, pretty cool stuff. Fuck you, by the way. We finally finished up the barrage of weekly recording, because we did 3 weeks in a row where we tried to record, but we really only got 2 episodes in somehow. I don't remember.
Yeah,
what
we're
happened.
getting back on normal schedule.
We're finally back on schedule.
We're gonna have a week of posting 3 episodes in that 1 week, and then boom, normal fucking schedule.
Yeah,
for the love of God. But yeah, this is gonna be a fun one. We're drinking cocktails today, boys.
Yeah, we are.
I'll go over mine. I'm drinking the Gimlet. If you don't know what the Gimlet is, it's basically gin. Just gin.
Just straight gin.
No, it's just straight gin. It's flavored gin.
Yeah.
It's 2.5 ounces of gin, half an ounce of lime juice, and half an ounce of simple syrup. But I double that shit.
Obviously.
I do double of everything because or you'll have this much, and we're trying to record a fucking podcast here. I need to be getting up every 5 minutes. My neighbor, before the podcast, randomly broke into my house and put a gun to my head and told me to make him one because he heard I was going to do a podcast over it. And how did he find out? Well, you're going to have to check the TikTok down below in the Discord to see exactly when we're doing these. And then you could be like my neighbor and break in my house and force me to make you a drink.
I do not suggest that, though. I would not break into your house specifically. I think your neighbor only got away with it because he's your neighbor.
But I made him one, and then he downed the whole thing, and now he's scared.
Okay, yeah, sweet. I am drinking. Ignore the fact that it's half gone. I'm drinking an On the Rocks, Knob Creek Old Fashioned. Is what it is. It's made with Kentucky Straight Bourbon whiskey, and the bitters it has in it are orange, cherry, lemon, and cane sugar. And essentially,
on the rocks,
on the rocks. Essentially,
really
the ice
good.
is a little melted because we kind of sat here for a while waiting to get started. But I basically just mix it with sweet tea. It's that with sweet tea. Now, what's your ABV? What's your ABV?
Fuck, dude, I don't know. It's straight gin. It's a mixed drink.
Well, mine actually has an ABV, and you can kind of see it. It's 35%. Yeah, 35%.
Well, it's a little watered down because of the sweet tea, so
it's not going to be as strong. But
yeah, with On the Rocks, the way it's already a mixed drink. It's a cocktail. It's a straight cocktail. Yeah. So you're supposed to just pour it straight on ice and serve just like that. Justin here, he hasn't been on Hangover Hotline long enough to get the taste buds, I guess, and the internals to be able to withstand the craziness of straight liquor and shit like that, and cocktails in that sense. So he's mixing it with a little bit of sweet tea.
I'll give you that. You're half right. I also like the taste of it. It actually surprisingly kind of gives it it's already got cane sugar in it, so it's already going to be really sweet. So I'm not necessarily looking for the sweetness, but it does give it overall a nice kind of spiked tea taste. Not necessarily a twisted tea, but a stronger twisted tea.
The way that I look at it is before, back in my olden days, I drank beer like any normal kid. Never ever drink liquor straight unless it was through a shot glass. But once I got more into alcohol and became an alcoholic and started the podcast and everything like that, I started experimenting more with On the Rocks type shit, where you take a bottle of liquor, whiskey, whatever, you pour it straight on ice or just straight in the glass, and you sip it. You just little sips here and there, just like how I'm drinking now. And it takes time because at first I was like, oh God,
Yeah.
But after doing it for a while, you really start to feel the flavors. You start to sense every flavor that's in that specific bourbon. And that's why I'm with On the Rocks, it's not like that because it's a mix. It's a pre-mixed drink. It's not the same as an actual old fashioned, but let's say whenever I drink my Howler Head, I drink it straight on the rocks, and I take a little sip, switch it around, feel all the aromas. You really get to taste every little flavor in that whiskey.
Yeah.
It's a different world. You know,
It's yeah, I could
you got to be
definitely
more of an
see that.
alcoholic to be able to get into that.
Well, funny enough, um we actually just moved. I know I told you, but I haven't told the podcast yet. We just actually finished up moving recently. We were living in an apartment and we found a place for rent in our town. Little cheap, not super cheap, but affordable for us is what I meant, not too expensive. Um it was cheap enough
House.
for us to be able to get it. Yeah, it's a house. It's a house instead of an apartment. But when we were moving, we were just kind of packing up everything because we had about a week. We literally moved everything in a week, and I managed to find this book. Um, you're probably gonna laugh at me, but the book is called "What the Fuck Should I Drink?"
Oh,
The
that's
answer,
cool.
the answer to the most important question of your day, and 75 fucking recipes by Zach Golden. I didn't realize we had this, but it's actually really funny. Um,
This is.
it's
I'm sorry
like
to cut you off.
you're good. Go right ahead.
This is the book that I want you to get into. Let me see if I can make sure I see it right. But this is the Essential Scratch and Sniff Guide to Becoming a Whiskey Know-It-All. And that's what I was talking about whenever, you get
Yeah.
to you really get into whiskeys and stuff. But go ahead.
Oh, but I was saying that like so it actually gives you like recipes and shit in here too. So like this one it says enjoy a drink that sounds like a stripper with a fucking with the fucking brandy Alexander. It's 1.5 ounces of brandy, 3/4 ounce creme de cacao, 3/4 ounce light cream, and grated nutmeg. And it like gives you like a little paragraph to read and shit like that.
Oh,
And
it tells you how to make
it
it.
tells you how to actually make a
Oh
bunch of
shit,
different
okay.
drinks. Like it's got a Hemingway daiquiri here as well, with like 2 ounces of white rum. So that might be up my alley. And it's
Huh.
just like I like literally my family was like, "Oh, hey, look what we found. We figured this might be neat for you." So fucking, I thought I'd share that with you. I thought it was really funny when they showed me.
That's pretty cool. Shit.
Yeah,
I need something like that. I need a book or some type of chart that tells me like, hey, if you buy this whiskey or whatever, bourbon,
yeah,
this is the amount of drinks you can make with that. And then just start going down the line trying all those kinds of cocktails. Because I
yeah.
love mixed drinks. I've thought about getting into mixology because I
Okay,
love
yeah.
actually mixing drinks, shaking, all that kind of good shit. I can't throw a bottle over my head and catch it behind my back, but
Hey, practice makes
um,
perfect.
yeah,
Yeah, I know we were talking about him last episode. Reach out to Eli. He used to work at Buffalo Wild Wings
mm,
as like a bartender. I don't know that
mhm.
he's like a licensed mixologist or not, but I
I don't
mean,
think so.
he would definitely be
Or
a
he
guy to.
could, yeah.
He would definitely be like a starter for that. Like he could teach you how to actually start like giving drinks a proper shake and proper techniques and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
you could do that, dude. Fucking mixologist. You could be our bartender instead.
Yeah, yeah. Shit. But getting onto the rating of these drinks for the
Yeah,
flavor. Um, this one is it's a very specific taste, right?
yeah,
Um, for me, it's like I feel like the more you drink it, not as in the same night, right? Like if you drink only this all night and it's your first time drinking it, you might have a sour taste in your mouth and be like, ugh.
yeah.
But like after like this isn't the first time I've had a gimlet. After drinking it so much over time, I mean, to think about how easy it is to make, how cheap it is, because now if you go to my TikTok, I have a TikTok exactly on how to make it. And it shows what I use. And the gin that I get is called Military Special Gin.
Hmm.
It is very disgusting. It is the
Wow.
cheapest gin you can find. It's like it's $15 for a big ass bottle. What's
Oh
the
my
measurements
god.
for bottles?
A milliliters, I think. I don't
It's like
fucking.
a fifth.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, yeah. I don't fucking know, honestly.
Fifth of, I don't know. I'm just looking at the images.
I think
What's
a fifth is like a big bottle.
Oh, that's like half. 2/5. Oh wait, no, I got a handle. A handle.
A handle, yeah.
So a fifth is in between a liter and then a handle.
yeah,
So I got a
okay,
handle
yeah.
of this shit for $15.
God damn.
So it's super fucking cheap.
Yeah.
Plus it's literally just freshly squeezed limes, which super cheap, and then
Okay.
simple syrup.
Yeah.
Simple syrup is you make it at home. You
Yeah.
take a cup of water and a cup of sugar and
It's
heat it
just
up a little
simple
bit until
syrup,
it
yeah.
dissolves.
Hell yeah.
So, and then you
Um,
throw it all into a shaker. You shake it up, and then you pour it in your glass
rating.
without any ice. So no ice.
What do you give it a rating?
For the cheapness, simplicity, and as in like you could do this as a first cocktail made at home.
Yeah.
And the taste, this is more of like a high-end type drink, apparently, because I cannot get a bartender in this town to fucking make one for me. They don't know what the fuck it is. I've only seen it like in high-end places.
Yeah.
Even though it's so fucking simple. I'd say it's like it's a good 8.7. 8.7.
Okay.
It's really easy. The taste, though, you got to get used to the taste. It's nothing. It's
Okay.
gin.
It's
gin.
yeah.
So-
yeah. I don't think I've had very many experiences with gins, but the little I have, I could definitely see what you mean, and like it'd probably be more of an acquired taste.
Yeah.
For this Knob Creek on the rocks, old fashioned. I mean, it's an old fashioned. I've had old fashions before. Typically, I don't necessarily like them all too much. You know that more than anyone. I know every time we see each other after a long time of not seeing each other, we always have an old fashioned. I don't know why. That's just kind of our thing.
It's my favorite drink.
And even this on the rocks, I know I didn't like it the last time you came around and we had it, but I will say, with it mixed in with like the tea and everything, this isn't really like, it's a cocktail that I've kind of mashed up with sweet tea so I could drink it. It's very drinkable, actually. I very much enjoy it. Probably 7.5. I think that's the highest rating I've given something.
Okay.
Actually, like I could drink this. It's actually really nice.
Nice. Yeah. So that's our ratings for today.
I like that
decent.
fucking nasty ass beer.
Yeah, be sure to check the description for TikToks. I usually post TikTok before we record, so you'll already know what I'm drinking.
Okay.
Well, it depends. So if it's a mixed drink, I'll make a TikTok about it.
Okay.
I'll show everyone how to make it. Like the day we record, like the first drink that I make before the podcast. So yeah, make sure you check that. Also, officially made the move to Kick.
Oh,
I am at
nice.
Kick now.
Let's fucking go.
Twitch is a goner. They have been, yeah, I've been watching a lot of videos regarding Twitch's downfall, and they are drowning, dude.
Yeah.
Like I already know they're starting to fire employees to make up the fucking losses that they've had out of streamers and everything like that.
I mean, that's rough.
They're starting to downsize.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, have you noticed anything different? How long have you been streaming on Kick? Have you done it?
Here's the thing, I haven't actually started a stream yet.
Okay. Okay, that just null and voided the question I was about to ask.
Yeah, so I've done the transfer just because, so many people have moved to Kick. One of your buddies moved to Kick. And then, with fucking XQC going, Amaranth is over there, fucking everybody seems to be going towards Kick's side. And I've seen the facts, the facts are that Twitch is getting more strict when Kick is like, hey, and I mean, it's also honestly like the feeling that I have now whenever I start my next stream on Kick, I'm less worried.
Yeah.
Like seriously, I feel more comfortable already because
absolutely.
I know if I want to do a partial gambling stream and do some fucking Ruskins gambling, I
Yeah.
don't have to look over my fucking shoulder seeing if there's a Twitch bot sitting there, you know?
And you know what's funny? This kind of goes into something I was going to talk about. I don't mean to cut you off, but Kick actually just announced either last night or sometime today that they're rolling out a feature that a user can ban certain things that they don't want to see. So, like, say, I know the biggest thing is like Kick is like, oh, they're promoting gambling. They're promoting gambling. They're actually taking steps away from that. Like, if you don't want to watch
Oh.
gambling, you could ban the whole gambling category from your, like, you being able to view it. And I believe that goes with anything. Like, you could be able to ban, like, open world genre, stuff like that, if you don't want to watch anything like
Oh,
that.
shit. Okay.
They're also actively rolling back on some of their gambling ads that they have been putting on the site. I don't use Kick often, so I don't know how bad like they were promoting gambling, but apparently it was bad enough for even the owner to say, yeah, like we're gonna roll it back a little bit on some of that stuff. So like if you're kind of a younger kid or maybe you're a parent who has a younger kid and was afraid of like the gambling side of things like that, wait for that update, wait for that to roll out, and then you could promptly block it on your child's thing, or even if you don't want to watch gambling, you could block it. I think Kick is actively taking steps towards like listening to feedback. They're listening to what the people are saying, and they're actively making steps towards fulfilling those issues. Something Kick really didn't fucking do, and that pissed me off more than anything. Was like, oh, we had an issue with this, and we'll get
You
to
mean
it.
Twitch?
Yeah, that's what I said. Twitch.
You said Kick.
Oh, my bad. I meant Twitch. Twitch will just never get around to it. They'll just, oh yeah, we'll get around to it, and then it never happens. So I'm glad to see Kick has actually actively taken those steps and helping out the community that's basically giving them money, the platform, everything they need to succeed. And I hope that you see a lot of that success on Kick, because I know you
Yeah.
mentioned my buddy Nacho. I think he's been streaming for like a week maximum, and he's already gotten like 15 followers or something like that. I know that's
Damn.
like minimal compared to what other people are getting in like a week or months or something like that. But like
At least he's growing on there.
for someone who had
Right.
like maybe around that number and almost a year on Twitch, that's pretty big for him. Like he's seen that and he
Yeah.
was like, damn dude, like this is amazing. And it actually makes him want to stream more. And it makes me happy to see, because it makes me realize that like I was once that way too with Twitch. I remember when I first started and I was like, oh dude, fuck, I got 15 followers, this week. Let's fucking go. And then, Twitch
Yeah.
shot itself in the foot and I just said, peace.
Yeah, and I mean the ads too. Like I was reading up some shit with Twitch, like the way they have their ads set up, so you can't hop streamer to streamer trying to find the right streamer, because you're gonna get hit with at least a minute ad every single time you click on someone's stream,
Yeah.
unless they're not affiliated. So it's like people were like complaining, being like, "Yeah, I would hop around and have to fucking spend 20 minutes going through 6 streamers." Finding a streamer I like, being in their stream for 3 minutes, and then I get hit with another ad. And it's just like they're money grabbing so
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah,
They're
it's
using ads, and it's too much. But they
It's
also
rough.
with the Prime subs, Twitch doesn't get a penny out of Prime subs, and half
Yeah.
of their subscriptions are from Prime.
Are from Prime, yeah.
So it looks like they're losing money from Prime subs. It doesn't help at all. So it's like,
Yeah. Well, I want to take a second, since we're on the topic about Twitch, Kick, video games, kind of, and we'll fucking shift to something else. We made a promise last podcast that I would play a single player game alongside you and finish
oh
it.
fuck.
And we didn't do that. Instead, we played
Yeah, we
Payday
didn't.
2. We played Payday
Yeah.
2 for 1 week, and then I moved for the next.
Yeah.
Um,
We could do that.
but now with your move to Kick, do you want to maybe stream it? Because I feel like if we stream it, it'll give us more of an obligation. And I also, I sent you on Discord earlier a YouTube channel for you to watch. It's
Yeah.
it's a guy, Javi. I don't know how to fucking say his name. He like a series that he does is he records himself playing old games like years later, like Black Flags,
Oh
AC3,
shit.
AC2, stuff like that. And it just kind of gave me that hit for wanting to play single player games again, basically.
Mm.
It's the only reason I'm saying that. So like now we have a category of like we could watch his review, see if a game would be worth it, and then we could play it. Because he reviews mostly single player games.
Okay. I see that.
Yeah.
We could do that, or we could pick a game that we both have. I mean, I just got Red Dead 2.
I
told
just
you about
reinstalled
that.
it today, actually.
I mean, I've been playing the shit out of that. I want
After
to
after recording, we'll play it. I'll load it up. We'll play it.
maybe might have
Something
neighbors
to-
grilling after the podcast.
Okay, that's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair. Yeah, that's fair.
But
But yeah,
tomorrow
no.
I'm of it.
Red Dead 2. I work tomorrow. Red Dead 2, sometime coming up. We'll play it.
Yep.
On stream, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe.
Are you
I'll make
streaming
sure
this
I'm set.
week?
No. There's
Oh,
been
no,
so
you
much, dude. I haven't
stream-
streamed in like 3 weeks. No,
Oh,
I haven't
fuck.
streamed in a while.
Oh,
I've been trying to
okay.
get this move over. I've had family, baby shower,
Yeah,
dinner
no,
reveal, all that
no,
kind
you
of
had
shit.
a lot of shit going on this week.
Yeah. So, and then we got 4th of July coming
Oh,
up.
Yeah, fuck.
Fuck.
I almost forgot about that. I don't know.
Yeah.
So we're not even doing a 4th of July special, unfortunately.
Oh my God, we're not.
No, fuck. We didn't even think about it.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Well, this will probably come out right around 4th of July. Fucking, I got some
No,
sparklers.
well, you still gotta. I mean, yeah, you could, but you still gotta.
I'll shotgun a Michelob for fucking 4th of July during this podcast. How about that?
Or what we could do is, on 4th of July, we could record a small little like 10-minute thing, 20-minute thing where we just drink and happy 4th of July, guys, and we can just kind of push that out. Sorry, there's no 4th of July special. We kind of talk about it in one of the podcasts coming up. But yeah, no, we honestly just didn't even think about it. Life
Yeah,
got in the way.
completely forgot.
Life got in the way for both of us.
Scheduling has been a bitch.
You said 4th of July, and I went, fuck, we talked about this. We talked about doing a whole special for 4th of July.
Yep. I'm supposed
Fuck.
to be wearing my American flag onesie, dude.
Oh, wait, hold on. Shit, never mind. We're at the bar. I thought I left my thing in the car. Never. I was going to say, I think I have an American flag shirt. Never mind. I don't. But all right, fuck it. We'll roll with it. Happy
all
4th
right,
of
it's
July,
all right.
guys.
Happy
Late
4th of July.
at this point.
Woo! I'll
Woo!
shotgun a beer
I'll-
like at the end of the episode or
I'll
something.
take a sip of whiskey to that.
Mm.
Ah,
Now, you said something.
yeah.
Payday 2.
Yeah.
Payday 3.
Yeah.
It is now up for pre-order. Holy
Nice.
shit. It's up for pre-order. You can get it on G2A as well for like 20% off. Steam key for the gold edition. 20% off. So, I'm super fucking excited. September 21st
Yeah.
this year it is coming out, and holy fuck, when I tell you I'm gonna take like, well, I might be on it might come out after my surgery. So if it
Oh,
comes
yeah.
out after my surgery, then we're fucking gold, dude.
Yeah.
Because my arm will be like this and I'll have to like but I'm gonna have a full month off of work
Yeah.
where I can just fucking stream
Just
Payday 3
play, have
all day
fun.
every
Yep.
fucking day, dude.
Nice.
I'm gonna run that mode.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think I've kind of hit that point in gaming this year where like I played all the games mostly that have come out this year that I've been interested in. So I think now I just kind of want to go back and play other games that maybe I haven't played before, or replay games that I have played before that I just enjoy. And funny enough, to kind of go back to that Javi guy, he did a video on AC Unity, which is a game that I say that, and a lot of people are going to immediately bugs everywhere. There's bugs. The game is just, it was a mess when it came out in like 2014, 2016. His video, when he played it in like 2021, 22, something like that. I mean, the first like 10 minutes of the video was just him explaining like, yeah, there's going to be bugs. Expect there to be bugs. But like 10 minutes long. but the rest of the video was like, it made me actually really interested to play the game. So that might be one of the games that after I end up playing Red Dead with you, maybe I'll go back and play that at some point. Because if you don't know anything about Unity, Assassin's Creed Unity was set in France during, forget what era, the French Revolution era, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I believe so. Like, you meet Napoleon Bonaparte and everything in the game. So it's like, it's set around that era in history.
Damn.
And it's the first, I believe, the first Assassin's Creed that moved to a 1-to-1 replica of games. So it like real life scales everything. And the city is beautiful. I played it way back when, and I remember it being super buggy, but the game just blew me away. And watching that video made me realize that, like, all these years later, the game is still fucking breathtaking. Like, it genuinely looks like it could have rolled out, like, 2020, and we would have been like, yeah, all right, yeah, it's a little buggy, but fucking hell, this game's amazing. So I think, that might be some, maybe I'll just go back and replay all the old Assassin's Creeds.
Yeah,
maybe that's something I do.
That's one of the things I've always wanted to do that I just haven't been able to stick to is, like, I played Assassin's Creed Black Flag. That's probably my most favorite one, just because you could have your own ship. That's a really good
one. Yeah.
But it's like those kinds of games where I want to, like, you've got Red Dead Redemption 1, and then you got 2. Shut up. You got 1 and 2. You can play through both of those. It's a little series of a game. But then you got the Assassin's Creed. Go back from the very first Assassin's Creed and going all the way up to the last one, beating every single one. That is something that I've always wanted to do with a certain type of game.
I mean,
I tried it with Minecraft.
I don't mean to cut you off, but let me rewind you back. You said Red Dead 1, Red Dead 2, a little bit of a series. Red Dead 1, yeah, it's kind of a short little game. How far into Red Dead 2 are you? Because that game is
I'm 6%.
Fucking
I know.
long. That game is
like
long.
I mean like fucking like the game and how many games there are that link together.
Okay. Yeah.
So like
I was like short little game Red Dead 2 though.
No,
Fuck?
no, that's not what I meant. Kind
Short
of like
series.
The sense of think about what's another game that's like that? You got GTA, all the GTAs.
Assassin's Creed Mirage is coming out soon too. So there's another edition coming to the Assassin's Creed franchise soon. So I think that'll also be another one to look out for. I think it comes out this year, actually. Later this year. So yeah, no, fucking all the Assassin's Creed games. What else? BioShock. I know that's another game that I think it's like
I've
a
never
3.
Been into BioShock though.
It's an older game, but it still holds up like extremely well. Borderlands also holds up pretty well.
I've just never gotten into either one of them.
The best thing I could tell you with older games like that, don't go in expecting a visual masterpiece, right? I think that's kind of like the common misconception with games. Is a lot of people nowadays, when they will load up games to play them, like older games, they'll be like, oh, that doesn't look like this game. The game was made in like 2008, dog. Relax.
Yeah.
I think people...
No, I'm not a big graphics guy, so...
I mean, I am, but at the same time...
I am. I love graphics, but like, if the game is that good, I'll play it, even if it has shit graphics. I mean, Supreme Commander 2.
Yeah, I think we just understand games come out in a different time frame, and at the time, I think we kind of understand the level of what was expected at the time. BioShock is one of those games that visually still holds up really well to this day, because it's not... JV kind of explains this. A lot of games back then didn't go for a photorealistic look in their building design. So not everything's going to look like shit way on down the line because they tried to look realistic. They went for a more stylized approach. They built their environment and the colors and the patterns and everything around an idea rather than, oh, we just want it to look real. Their way of looking real is making it look like it belonged where it was, not making it look like, oh, it's got to have like, when like games get that like realistic overhaul look and everything just looks wet and shiny. Games, that's what I love about old games. Everything looks more realistic because they're not wet and shiny. They don't have that look. They look like they belong where they are. BioShock holds up visually well, and the story, I believe, is still like a 10 out of 10. Like
Huh.
it just BioShock story was one of the best stories for years. I think even until like the mid teens when more like story driven games started coming out that actually had more driven stories.
Right.
Do you have a favorite single player game that you've completed? I think I've asked this before, but
I have not
you still
completed
not
one.
completed any. You
That's
still
the problem.
do you okay,
I
so
mean,
let me ask.
I mean, I have.
What is a favorite single player game you played so far? Out of every game that you played that's a single player, up to any percentage, any point, what is a game that made you say, "Damn, this was worth my money"?
Oh man. I mean, it really just depends, cause like, there's this one game. It's not really. It's more of a sandbox game, right? Going medieval is what it's called,
Yeah.
where you build your own little thing. You have your own people and all that. The problem with it is that there's not really an end. You could
Yeah.
say. Um, I've gotten all the achievements for it on Steam, and I still play it to this day. Um, so that would be one, but that's like a super chill, relaxed game type sit back. But I
Do
mean, when it
you
comes to
do you have an issue of like I think you said it on the last podcast. You have an issue of like just finding stuff to
sticking
do, like
sticking to one
sticking
game,
to it.
no.
Yeah, like
So here's the problem, right? So let's see here. Let's say I'm playing Red Dead right now, right?
yeah,
Or fucking Hogwarts Legacy just happened.
yeah,
I was playing the fuck out of Hogwarts Legacy, and I was like, fuck yeah. And then boom, I saw that Red Dead Redemption 2 was on sale on G2A for like $10. And I was like, $20. And I was like, I've been dying to play this game for so long. So I
yeah,
bought Red Dead 2, and now I'm
yeah.
playing that nonstop.
Okay,
Before you know it, I'm gonna be playing Red Dead 2, and then there's gonna be another game that I'm like, fuck, or like I'm gonna be on my Steam and look at Kingdom Come Deliverance and be like, I
that's
want to
also
play
a
that
good.
right now.
That's also a good one.
I'm feeling that game. Kingdom Come Deliverance. Holy shit.
What a game, by the way.
I didn't even
But
think about that. That is my most favorite single player game I've ever played in my life. Yes.
I think I
that's the
remember.
one.
I think I remember you having completed more of that
I
than
have
anything
it.
else. You had it on Xbox. I remember that because I like you begged me to get it. Oh, too bright. Oh, that's your like GameStop. Is that from GameStop?
Yes. Kingdom Come Deliverance. This is Kingdom Come Deliverance on disc. Oh, that's Mass Effect.
Oh, wrong game.
I think it's in a different
It's in
one.
a different. Oh, I remember.
But
those
yeah,
days.
I
Oh,
bought it on disc because it was on sale.
Yeah.
And I fucking was like, oh, I want to play this game so bad. I got it.
Game.
I played the fuck out of it on Xbox, and I got a PC. I got it on Steam on PC. I am 6 out of 82 achievements. I haven't beaten
Such
it.
a good game. But dude, I
That
don't
is
blame
the game.
that. Is,
Do you
that is
have
your
it?
favorite. Yeah, I think I do. I might. I'll have to check.
I would play that. I would play that with you.
But before we get to that, Red Dead Redemption 2. You're 6% in. How far is that? You're still in what, like chapter 1?
I think I'm in chapter 2. I'm out of the snow. I'm in Valentine now.
Okay, yeah, okay, so you're in chapter 2. What I think okay, so let me preface this. I've played and beat Red Dead Redemption twice. One on
Of course.
Xbox when it first came out. I didn't have a PC at the time, so I played it and beat it on Xbox. And then I got it on PC when I got a like better computer, the computer I have now. I played it and beat it again. It felt a million times better the second time around. Just because having that nice, like beefed up computer that can handle the graphics at like high or ultra or whatever, it genuinely made like it felt like it put me into the game. Like when I was standing in front of a building and like the fog started to roll in, like it genuinely put me in that scenario. Like I could picture myself standing right where Arthur was standing and just being like, wow. Like it like I think that's my thing is like I get more into the I can kind of feel like I could put myself into the character's
Yes,
shoes more than
yes.
you can.
And the thing, one of the biggest things about video games with me is the customization. Is that if I'm gonna be playing a game and I want to be in the game, I want to make my own character. Like for instance, WWE. Like if
Yeah.
I'm playing WWE, I have to have my own character. I gotta make him mine. Now
Yeah.
with Kingdom Deliverance, it doesn't have that. You get set with a character, but Kingdom Deliverance is the only game I've been able to jump in and not have to make my own character because of many different reasons. One, the game is beautiful. It is fucking amazing to the eye. But also, you can make so many decisions on your own in Kingdom Come Deliverance that chooses your path, where you choose your path and you choose what you're doing instead of being stuck doing this specific thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Sorry,
So,
I just had to look it up. That game came out in 2018.
2018.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. That game does still hold up
February 13th of February. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah. That's incredible, honestly.
5 years. It's
Fucking hell.
such an amazing game, dude.
But that's
I would play the fuck out of it. Yeah.
18 was 5. Oh fuck.
Dude,
I just had a revelation. Holy
I've been in the
shit.
You know, I've been in the Marine Corps for 6 years.
Fuck.
Yeah, whenever my family was down this past weekend, we were talking, and I was like, talking to my stepmom about some shit. I was like, yeah, I'm hitting my 6-year mark, or I just hit my 6-year mark, this and that. This and that. She was like, you've been in the Marine Corps for 6 years? And I was like, yeah. She was like, oh my God. It's been 6 years since you've been
crazy.
Since you've lived in my house. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, no, dude. It's actually insane, dude. That's fucking. But I mean, time flies. I guess when you're living life, having fun, enjoying your time, time flies.
So much has changed. Shit's
yeah.
Now
I lost a lot of weight in 6 years.
I've gained and lost a lot of weight in 6 years. Fuck. Which I'm actually.
Are you gaining or losing right now?
I'm gaining this second. On Wednesday, I'm losing. This whole thing set up. I've got fucking $100 worth of meat in the fridge, starting my carnivore diet again. I've got my drugs on the way. Actually, I had a shipping accident. It got, what is it called? It's not actually drugs, guys. It's pre-workout.
It's like, is it vitamins?
It got forwarded. No, it got forwarded on its way here. I can't. No, it's like pre-workout, that kind of shit. Proteins, vitamins, that kind of stuff.
Vitamins, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, just a whole bulk of stuff to like help me get going. That kind of shit also pushes me to be like, okay, I'm gonna get this shit going. I'm also gonna be doing the straight carnivore diet, so just straight fucking meat. So I want to make sure I'm like at my peak performance with every time I hit the gym.
Yeah.
It just makes me more motivated, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. I get that.
But yeah. So I've got all that shit set up. But anyways, yeah. Red Dead Redemption 2. I want a whiteboard in here so I can I want to make a board of like list of games to play through completely.
Yeah.
And then check off each one I can
check them off each one.
Just so I can look and be like, yep, I want to play that game.
I think
Red Dead Redemption 2, Kingdom Come Deliverance.
I think Red Dead 2 has a very compelling story. The one thing that like Red Dead 2 does really well, I believe better, and this is just my opinion, I believe better than any other game, is they have character, like really, really good character development. Your companions, the people you know, your gang members, the people you fight alongside, they go from, you know, in the snow just being like happy-go-lucky, like we're just trying to survive, you know, like we just gotta get out of here, stuff like that, right? Yeah. But when you know, you kind of get further along in the game, you don't really notice it while it's happening until you're kind of at that point of no return. You're kind of at that last mission. You're like, fuck, man, so much has changed, like between these characters, how they act, how they talk, even like their demeanor. They do it so subtly that you don't even notice it until it's like too late, right? Like when the cutscene rolls and the tears are rolling down your face, because there will be tears. When the tears are rolling down your face, I promise you'll be like, I want them back. Give them back to me.
Fuck, dude. And it's like the same thing with Kingdom Come Deliverance. Fuck, dude. It's making
Exactly,
me want
yeah.
to play it so bad. So fucking bad right now. But with Kingdom Come Deliverance, there's so much that happens to your character, and the way from the beginning being a scared little boy to the end being a fucking like king, like it's insane the development. I've maybe gotten halfway through the game. It is a massive game,
It is.
but I have played the living shit out of it.
Yeah.
And like, oh god, dude, it is such a great game. I'm not gonna install it. I'm not gonna install it until
Don't
Red Dead is done.
don't
That's what I
install
need
it.
to do. I went through about a month or two ago, and I just uninstalled every single game that was a story-based game that was long and that needed my uninvited attention or whatever the fuck. I was like, okay, I'm gonna pick one game. I'm gonna stick to it. And boom, here I am with like 7 of them. Well, no, most of all my games right here are just like aren't stories. Like, you got fucking Civ 6, Payday 2, BeamNG Drive, Hogwarts Legacy, the one that I was working on. A lot of VR games. Uno. I love me some fucking Uno. I did install Astroneer from your library.
Yeah.
Hitman 2, and then you've got Tropico
That's
6.
a good one. It's funny. I reinstalled Hitman, went back and played like 2 missions and uninstalled it.
Yeah, I started playing it and I was like, fuck yeah. Then I was like,
It's one of those games where like when you kind of beat the whole story to it, you're kind of like, all right, like I wonder what other ways I could beat this mission or whatever. And then you beat it another way and you're like, okay, cool. That's kind of the extent to that. But funny enough, I did do the Miami mission where you're like at the F1 track or whatever. I don't know if you did that one yet.
I've hardly played it.
I found out there was a different way to beat that mission, and it was stupid funny. It was one of those like I ended up taking out a medical guard or whatever, a medical guy, doctor. I think it was probably a doctor, a medical tent person. And I walked into the medical tent, called over one of the people I was meant to kill, and then ended up poisoning her thing right in front of her. She saw it because I'm an idiot.
Oh.
She started running out, so I just pulled out my gun, shot her in the head right in front of an entire waiting room of people. And everyone was just like, huh, what the fuck? Where did that come from? And I'm just standing there menacingly with my gun and trench coat. And they're just standing there looking at me, and no one just detected me. They were all just like, huh, what the fuck? And I'm just standing there like, I gotta go. I gotta leave.
Jesus.
Just like the game's more funny than anything.
Fuck, do y'all want to cut heads off? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That sounds fun.
Okay. No, I'd rather fucking grab people with my lasso.
Lasso, yes.
Yank
We're
'em off their
lassoing
horses and
people.
drag 'em. Okay.
Come
yeah,
on,
let's lasso
Arthur.
some
We
people.
gotta get to Tahiti. Arthur, talk to me, Arthur. You're like a
we
son
gotta
to
do-
me.
Fuck. Another big news.
Oh, wow.
Where does it say it at? I don't think they have an official yet release date.
What?
It's rumors.
Is it GTA
Grand
6?
Theft Auto 6.
Woo!
Grand Theft Auto 6 was officially revealed at something. I don't even fucking know. Hold on. Official announcement.
it was leaked a year ago. It's not like this
Yes,
is
of
really
course.
news. It was leaked by
But-
like a British kid a year ago.
But the thing about it is that because I saw it official, unless it was fake.
No, I think it is official. I think it is official. I did like a little brief research beforehand, but I think like Rockstar has officially announced it. Like a map has been put out, like the GTA 5 map. When the people that leaked the GTA 5 map were the same people that leaked the GTA 6 map. So it's a pretty reliable source, I would say. The map, if you don't know, is Miami. It's literally southern Florida.
Twice the size as GTA 5.
Fucking massive. I have a picture of it. I can send it to you, and maybe we could pop it on screen somewhere.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Well, we'll pop it on screen somewhere for anyone who hasn't seen it somehow yet. But it's essentially like from the Orlando area of Florida down. Fucking massive. And I'm absolutely excited for it. I've been playing so much GTA 6. I will say I've been playing a lot of GTA roleplay, but for the last couple of weeks I have not gotten on. I know that people that I work with are pissed and they're upset. I've received a couple emails from them, but I've not gotten on. I've not done anything. I like,
Yeah,
because
so it says
oh,
it
sorry, go
says
ahead.
between April of 2024 and March of 2025. So we have no idea.
I mean, it's been in production for about a year now. We know that much. So yeah, it sounds
it's
about
been in
right.
production for at least 5.
For a couple years, yeah.
Yeah, it's been in production for a while. I mean, it's a huge fucking game, and the
Well,
little things that I've seen, it looks amazing.
It
So,
seems like they're mostly just trying to polish everything up now.
I've heard a lot of different things. Now, these are all rumors, okay? Nothing
obviously, yeah.
I have heard that, for one, if you, let's say you run a red light, you can get pulled over by cops and ticketed, right? An actual fucking story game, right? Like, cops are way smarter. If you are robbing a store, apparently you and your little girlfriend can rob stores, jewelry stores, banks, all that kind of shit, just roaming around. If you rob a fucking gas station and cops show up, they're not just gonna walk in and just start shooting everywhere and, just die instantly because you're a player. They're not gonna act like NPCs. They're actually gonna fucking make a perimeter around the building. They're gonna talk to you through microphones and shit, or not microphones, but the big thingies.
Megaphones.
Yeah, megaphones are gonna talk to you through those, and they're actually gonna fucking be smart, like actual fucking people. Like I've heard there's gangs. There's gonna be gangs in there, that you can join. You can make your own gang and have your own people. If you buy a house or an apartment, you can decorate it yourself, like fucking Sims type shit.
I know this is gonna sound bad, but I hope they kind of pull the Skate number. I don't know if you've been keeping up with anything about the new Skate that's been in production. That's another game that we haven't talked about at all. Skate 4, I believe it is, but it's not going to be called Skate 4. It's been in production. Like they've officially announced it. I think the issue was they announced it too early. I think because it's been under production for like 4 or 5 years now. I think they announced it literally when they were like, yeah, I think we can go ahead and give this a go ahead. We can start working on it. So the hype for it has kind of died down. But
I forgot about that.
The idea for it is that it's going to be the last Skate. It's going to be like they're just going to make this game and just continue to update it. Kind of like how Fortnite is. Like Fortnite doesn't need a Fortnite 2 because they do something to change up the map or they come up with a story around it. I think that's what Skate's going to do. I hope GTA 6 is like that. I hope that they can just make it the last one of the series, but continue to build a story on it and just like change up certain things.
You got to think of it in a certain sense, right? So like Red Dead Redemption 2, if they were to do that, they would fail miserably.
Well, that's because Red Dead 2 takes place before Red Dead 1.
Well,
so the story canonic reasons, it doesn't make sense.
That's not what I mean. That's not what I mean, right? So like you got to think of it in this sense. Fortnite has let's say nobody buys Fortnite for a year.
Yeah.
Does that mean that the people that create Fortnite aren't going to get a dime? No, because they have V-Bucks. They're getting constant money from skins and V-Bucks and all that kind of shit. GTA 5 has been doing the same thing with Shark or whatever it's called, where you can buy money for online. Red Dead Redemption 2 has absolutely nothing, right? The online version of Red Dead 2 is dead. Nobody cares about it. It's just that bad. So Red Dead 2 is done for. Like they either got to make a new game or move on or some shit.
I wouldn't say Red Dead Online died because no one played it or was playing it. It had a really active community.
Bad.
A lot of people wanted to play it, but they just had issues. There was a lot of issues with the game. Bugs,
a lot of issues.
Missions were because I remember playing it when online first launched. The missions were really stupid. Like there was no point to them, right? But it still had a really big player base because everyone just liked the idea of a free roam multiplayer Western cowboy game, right? Like everyone loved that. But I think I think we're looking at it from too small of a scope. I think it's just a mixture of everything, right? Like Red Dead 2 wouldn't make sense for the reason you said, but also for the reason I said. Canonically, it doesn't make sense because Red Dead 2 is technically the prelude into Red Dead 1. Like it takes place in like 1890 and Red Dead 1 takes place in like 1900 something. So it's like the Red Dead 2 story feeds into Red Dead 1. Whereas like with GTA, I think it would at least make more sense from a story standpoint because it's all fictional. The one story doesn't really lead into another. They kind of did it with GTA 4 with some like Easter eggs leading into GTA 5 where it was like, oh, you can find your son talking about this person from GTA or Nico from GTA 4. Easter eggs is fine. But I think with GTA 6, I think if they just kind of did it right and did it and like made the map a way that they could add to it and take away certain things and kind of change it up over time, it would kind of give the player base a sense of reason to want to keep investing into shark cards. That's why people like Fortnite is the reason people keep paying for V-Bucks and shit is because they come out with new skins, new things, new emotes, new pickaxes, stuff that overall is entirely useless. I mean, I've spent a lot of money on Fortnite. I used to play it when it like was in chapter 1 still.
Hate Fortnite. Never played it.
I used to love it.
I have played it, but I just couldn't.
But I think if they could, I believe if games built kind of like a perfect way around it, they could continue a longevity of a game kind of like Fortnite, how they've continued their longevity and their player base. Because every season, they don't really lose that many players. And if anything, they gain a lot more than they lose from new people wanting to come in and try it out. So I think games could profit from stuff like that. And yeah, it might suck from like a microtransaction standpoint, but at the same time, do you want to keep spending $70 for a game to then have to pay for more microtransactions, or do you just want to pay $70 one time and then just continue to pay for microtransactions? Yeah. Me personally, I'd rather just spend the 70, 50, 60, $70 one time and then just pay like $20 for microtransactions. Or like even GTA 5 does a good job of not really needing microtransactions. They're just kind of there in case you don't want to grind it out, which I don't like grinding things, so that's not really.
But not a lot of people play GTA Online either. Most of everybody plays just the they play 5M, which doesn't need
now they do
the microtransactions. It's all RP roleplay type shit, which I fucking miss already. Wish I could get back into it. I just gotta stick to one fucking game at a time, with a wife, a son, and a son on the way. It's like
it's hard.
Can't spend as much time on gaming.
I get it though. I get it. But I mean, look, we'll do Red Dead 2. Okay, fuck Hogwarts. I know we said sir. Hogwarts Legacy last stream. Uninstall that shit. We're gonna do Red Dead. All right. You don't gotta call me sir. I'm not your boss. I'm not your commander.
Yes, daddy. I said hi, daddy. Now here's the most important question.
Wow.
Are you done with your drink yet?
I'm most of the way.
Chug.
Because it's mostly bourbon left. I
gotta go to the bar and fucking wait for him to make me another one.
Dude, I can wait.
We're in the back room, so
I can wait. It's fine. I already have. Remember, mine's a bottle. I just got a bottle. I paid for a whole bottle. So go to John. Go get your drink.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be back. In like 3 seconds, you'll see us again. Like nothing ever happened.
Okay.
Unless you're gonna talk while I'm gone.
Go. You good?
Yeah.
It took so long.
I made a TikTok.
Of course you
did. And shotgunned a beer. Of
course you did. Oh, that's almost like 20 minutes worth of shit to cut out. All right.
No, it's not. That was like 5 minutes.
Probably you left it like 52 minutes into the recording.
What were we talking about?
I don't fucking remember. It's been too long.
I think we're talking about GTA and like, um, um. Oh yeah, how
Some about games. I don't remember.
we can
But
move on though.
if you want, we can jump into music.
I
It's
made a
summertime.
gimlet.
You made one, or the bartender made one?
He did. I just like to claim that I made him because I feel
Yeah,
special.
stop stealing John's show.
I feel like a mixologist. Not. I don't know. John's my homie. All right. Anyways,
John is the homie. But
Music.
it's summertime. A lot of artists, a lot of musicians like to put out music around this time. I want to take this time because I don't know that we've actually ever had this talk because we just kind of listen to music so openly.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a preferred genre of music that you listen to?
Yes. Oh God. Oh fuck. So basically, it's really weird with me, right? So I really like Logic. Logic is my dude. Logic,
Okay,
NJK, all of them.
Yeah.
So like kind of like rap, kind of sorta, but more like
Hip hop.
yeah, but more of like the melody type shit, right? Like the really good hitting type stuff.
It's like hip hop pop.
Now I have a playlist right now on Apple Music. Oh, and the playlist is called Sad, and it has a mix of the most depressing songs that you can imagine. Triple X, it's got those TikTok songs that they have that's like super like down and sad sounding, like depressing sounding. And then it goes straight into like raging fucking like you're on crack music, like gym music, and then it goes back to the super sad, and then it goes back to that, or it goes to like
Hold
a
on.
mellow.
I dropped something.
It goes to like a mellow fucking, I don't know. It's super fucking strange. It's a fuck.
Yeah.
Every time I'm in my car and I got to give somebody a ride or some shit, I turn that bitch on and they're like, "Oh, I'm super sad now," and then they want to punch my window out because of the next song. Like it's just like I think I have bipolar.
Yeah,
I don't know.
probably.
I don't know. It's fucking crazy. Like I'll be sitting there like on my way home from work, just like all crying, and then like 3 seconds later, I'm like, like fucking like driving people off the road, like fuck you, like some Russian fucking dubstep type shit. I'm like punching my window. Yeah, it's fucking weird.
That's funny.
But I have been listening to Coldplay lately.
Yeah,
I've been listening
Coldplay's
to a lot of
one.
Coldplay. Now, since we're getting into music, hold on. I just want to throw this out here.
Yeah.
The TikTok I'm gonna make on the 4th of July to say hello to all of you guys and you, of course, Justy Boo.
Yeah.
I will be currently at a Plain White Tees concert. So every year for the 4th of July, since I fight for our country and all, no big deal. I'm just kidding. No, so on Camp Lejeune, I live on Camp Lejeune in North Carolina. And every year on the 4th of July, they have a band that comes and plays that wants to give back to the troops or whatever the fuck, right?
Okay. Oh yeah.
It's super cool. Last year we had who was it? Super popular, super famous. Who was it? Fuck, I can't remember. I'll probably pop up a quick clip on the pod. Hopefully it doesn't fuck us up. It copyrights.
It might.
Yeah, it will. So hold on, let me quick look up. But for this year, yeah, the Plain White Tees, we are having like the dudes that do Hey There Delilah. Yeah, that's Plain White Tees. So they're gonna be here, and then also there's a country singer. I don't know her name. Fuck. Hold on, let's see.
Either way, it sounds like a good time.
I was doing 2022, July 4th. Band that played. I don't fucking know. Eli Young Band. Eli Young Band.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the Eli Young Band came last year. This year it's gonna be Hey There Delilah. No, it's Plain White Tees, and then Actually, I can probably just look it up. 2023 Camp Lejeune. Sorry, fuck. Lejeune.
See, I'm not a big country guy. I know that's kind of controversial.
I'm not either.
Being from Georgia, I don't. There are some songs that like pique my interest, but most of the time, if it's a country song, I'll pass. But my taste in music definitely is pretty expansive. Otherwise, like I listen to a little bit of metal, a little bit of like classical music. I'll listen to like a lot of hip hop. I think like rap is my main thing. Pop, hip hop, rap. What else is there? I used to like a lot of metal. When I was younger, I remember listening to like a lot of, especially like a lot of thrash metal. I was a very violent kid.
Yeah. I'm pretty violent myself.
But you weren't like a violent kid.
I listened to metal and
I don't.
Yes,
I don't.
was.
Not as much.
What the fuck do you mean? I almost punched my stepmom in the face. I
You were
almost
more-
called the news on her.
Oh yeah, true.
That's a running joke with us. We still over the weekend we still talked about that, and she was sitting there
That's
just like,
funny.
she was like, I don't know if that was you or if it was Justin telling you to do that, and I was like, no, it was me.
No, yeah, that was you.
Yeah, I was like, he was telling me to shut up, and I was like, no, fuck this shit. Yeah,
I think that is probably the case of a lot of things. Is me just telling you to shut up, and then you just being like, "No, I'm gonna do it."
yeah, it was pretty. Yeah, it was a good childhood. Good childhood. Anyways, back to music.
But yeah, what band? What other band is performing?
I don't know. It doesn't.
You
say.
don't,
It'll take me a minute to look it up.
Remember?
Pretty sure it's
yeah.
on Facebook or something, but
yeah,
or
that's-
I can
that
just text
sounds-
my wife real quick.
That sounds dope. I haven't been to that many concerts in my life. I'd like to go to more, but I really just don't have the time nor the money. The last concert I went to was a rap concert
Well,
by a British rapper named Dave. He's big in the UK scene, not as much in the US, but he did his like first US tour last year, the year before, I can't remember, but I went regardless. It was fucking awesome. Before that, I
Yeah,
went to a Skillet concert, I think. That's it. I think that's literally it. It's the only two concerts.
yeah, I haven't. No, I have never been to an actual concert. The concerts I've been to is going to be this year's and then last year's, and they're free. Because
I mean,
for the military.
they're probably no different than what you'd expect.
I mean, it's like a massive field full of
Yeah.
people with a stage.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean,
Yeah, that sounds about right. But and then we have fireworks right when they get done playing.
hell yeah.
So
Hell yeah.
I'm just waiting. I'm gonna do it whenever they're singing "Hey There, Delilah." The second that comes on, I'm like,
Oh.
make a TikTok video. I'll
yeah.
be like, yeah.
You should probably find time to go to more concerts for artists that you actually like listen to a lot.
I
'cause
really
they can-
do want to
they
go
can
to
be
a
a lot
Michael
of fun.
Jackson concert. I really
Uh-huh.
do.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
would be
me too.
awesome.
Oh, it's a shame I couldn't go.
I just gotta die
Unfortunately.
first.
Yeah, me too. I'll be up there fucking smooth criminaling with them.
Yeah,
But-
dude.
But yeah, no, I think because like they're all kind of different in their own unique way. Obviously, like every artist kind of has their own style to them. The Skillet concert I went to was really nice because they played in the Georgia Dome,
Mhm.
and it was a big crowd. A lot of people came out to see them. And when like they kind of cut the music out for a second and just kind of let the crowd sing, you definitely like you heard it and you felt it. But it wasn't like because their music's not very like I don't know how to describe it. Their music's very like fast tempoed, right? Because they're a metal band. That's just kind of like how the tempo goes with it. When I went to the rap concert, it was so different. Obviously, two different genres of music, but as far as like the tempo of everything, like the rapper, like the show was maybe an hour long, hour and a half long, but it felt like it took all fucking day. Just because of like how he paced out his show and he took time to stop and talk between his songs and he actually tried to like fill his time because his songs weren't very long. They're like 2.5 minutes long,
Yeah.
something like that. Whereas like Skillet, they've made songs like fucking 4, 5, 6 minutes long, so they don't need to find fillers. But like they all kind of have their own uniqueness. One concert is I'd like to go to is a band you mentioned you've been listening to is Coldplay. I hear Coldplay does some
Oh my
really cool
God.
shit at their concerts.
They do some crazy shit. I've seen some
really
like
cool
drone
shit.
footage.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
my God, dude. Yeah.
I also want to go
Apparently
to
their
a
concerts are
rave.
crazy.
I know that's kind of like out there.
Rave, yes.
I want to go to a rave. I'd go.
Yeah,
I'd go.
some coke, drop a tab
I'd
of
go.
acid.
I'd go mostly sober.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
probably wouldn't
No, I
drink
wouldn't.
for sure, but I would definitely smoke a little bit of weed before going because like I'd want to enjoy my time. But I feel like if I
That's
were to
why-
drink, I wouldn't. I'd just drink too much just because of like the atmosphere.
Yeah, drinking is a lot harder to have fun with than weed. And you know, that's one of the reasons why I'm really thinking about getting out next year is because I don't get to go and do crazy shit like that, you know?
Yeah.
Like I'd like to be able to fucking go smoke some pot at a rave or, you know, just like do some hood rat shit, but I can't, you know?
I
It
think.
sucks.
I think your
Sucks.
issue is you feel like you're missing out on a little bit of the fun in life, but you're not looking for the fun that's available to you.
No, I definitely am. I mean,
No, yeah,
Not a lot of fun.
There's not a lot of fun.
not a lot of fun.
There's not a
Um,
lot of fun.
Yeah. It's not a lot of fun in my life.
Yeah, true.
You know,
But that also
But
comes with
it's-
the fact of having kids, right? Like you can't. You have a son now, so you can't really like drop whatever you're doing and go have fun. You got to kind of
well,
like
yeah,
plan.
but I
you
mean,
got to plan
I
things
could
out.
plan out going to
it's
a rave
different.
with you.
It's different for me though because I don't have any kids. I don't have a significant other. If I want to do something, I could literally just drop whatever I'm doing and go do it.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
that's me
schedule-
being me.
I could schedule out going to a rave and stuff like that, get a babysitter, or if Josh just doesn't want to go, but I can't smoke pot because I get drug tested immediately when I get back. So.
You don't have to smoke pot to have fun.
I know, clearly, but a rave and drugs is, you know, same thing.
Yeah, true.
Can't go to a rave without doing drugs. But yeah. Now going on some more sad things.
Oh, we're sad now. Okay.
Yeah, it's time to get sad.
Oh God. Okay.
5 billionaires died in the past few weeks.
Oh, that ain't sad.
So horrible.
No,
yeah,
there was a kid that died, so that is sad.
There, yeah.
Poor
He's like
19. He was 19.
19.
That's
He's not.
that's still a kid. That's
he's
still a
not.
kid. That's
When
still
I
a
was
kid.
19 years old, I was learning on how to fucking fix a gun. And
Okay,
how to
but
kill the enemy.
but look at yourself
Raw?
now. Look at yourself now. Would you still not call yourself a kid?
Fuck no.
I would.
No.
19-year-old me is a kid compared to me. But yeah.
Well,
Don't-
yeah. So basically, fucking, there was a tourist. Everybody knows about this. If you haven't heard about this, and this is where you find out
You've
about
been
it,
living
you're
under
fucking
a
living
rock.
under a rock.
You're living
Yeah.
under a rock.
The submarine, the Titan, that went down as a tourist type thing to the Titanic has been recovered. Okay, first off. Second off, I skipped too much. So if you haven't heard, this billionaire that owns this company called Oceanside decided to make a tourism type submarine, charging each person $250,000 to go and see the Titanic in person. Now, the thing that makes that crazy is that the Titanic is 12,500 feet underneath the fucking ocean. Like, it's that deep in the fucking water. Like,
Just deep.
it's hard to explain it, but if you're not exactly sure on how science works.
I think how deep is it's like what? A couple Empire State Buildings?
Yeah,
deep?
it's like it's like
deep.
like imagine having the 4 Empire State Buildings fucking on your head, like balancing 4 of them on your head. That's how much pressure there is down there.
Yeah.
And so basically this submarine it's taken people down there successfully before. And that's something that people don't know, is that they've been doing this for years.
Yeah.
But there was a news documentary that they did where they tried to do this for like 2 or 3 years in a row, and they kept failing. Like something kept going wrong, so they couldn't go and see it. And then one time they finally got to go and see it. This has been going on for like 4 or 5 years. And this past year, they finally or one of the expeditions went down, and it basically imploded on itself.
Yeah.
So they were only 3,500 feet down. And the pressure that is caused when something implodes, so it can happen for many different reasons. One of them is there could be a structure impairment on the thing, but also you got to think of this dude didn't care about rules. The submarine wasn't approved by anybody. It was just he made it and said, "Oh, this will work." He had his own personal scientists, his personal people to say, sure.
I think the issue with that is there's no like standard regulation for
there is.
any naval vessels. Is there?
I mean, when it's in the thing that didn't make it illegal is because it was in international waters, right? But it wasn't approved by any actual government and full official standing people. Like it wasn't approved by anybody because it couldn't be. Because one of the number one rules is you cannot have the submarine made out of two different materials.
Yeah.
They use carbon fiber and titanium, which is one of their main rules because the two materials aren't the same, which means there's a separation in the parts and whatever the fuck, which could cause it to implode. And there's been interviews with this guy saying well, yeah, there's rules and we break a lot of them, but hey, it's an adventure type shit, this and that.
Yeah.
And the contract that he had these people sign to go on this little adventure and pay $250,000 for, on the first page, it mentions death 5 times.
Yeah.
5 fucking times. Where it's like, if you die, you can't sue me. If you die, this or that, you know?
I feel like I don't know how contracts work as far as like null and voiding, but I feel like that contract would be null and void even if you signed it, just because of the sheer. I had the word on the tip of my tongue, but I can't think of it. Like negligence. I think that's the word I'm thinking of.
Pure negligence, yeah.
From the CEO. Unfortunately, he did die in that incident, but like at the end of the day, that's still negligence on his part of the company.
There's one thing I can say about that. Is this man, after thinking about it for a while, this man did do all of this, and he is the one that broke all the rules, but this motherfucker was on every single expedition down to the Titanic. He was serious about it. If they were going to die, he was going to die, which is huge. Now, if he was sitting back at home in his fucking condo and then heard about it, then yeah, I'd be like, fuck this dude, crucify him. But this guy actually died with him, which to me is a little bit like, oh man. Like,
I don't think it makes it better, personally.
No. Slightly. I would say slightly. It's like, hey, he knew the risks and he went with them just to show them, hey, if you die, I'm dying too. Or if something happens, I'm here with you type shit. Which is, to me is like, hey, that's
but you also have to look at it from the perspective of some people don't value people's other people's lives more than something, right? So it's like he could have been one of those people who's just basically didn't value other people's lives above his own. Like he could have just been like, if he mentioned death 5 times in the first page of the contract that you have to sign, I would imagine that he really didn't care about your life all that much. It was more of like he was an adventurous. He was an adrenaline junkie. He enjoyed the thrill of going down there and almost dying. I think that's part of the thrill of why people do stuff like that.
Yeah, and then again, he could have been so like he'd done it so many times and he's been all up in the shit where he just got comfortable with it.
Yeah,
he may have just gotten comfortable with it. Now it's not confirmed that he was on every single expedition, but I do know he was on a lot of them.
On a lot of them, yeah.
Everyone that I've seen, he was on. So
I think the issue, from what I heard, I don't know if it's confirmed or anything, was that they just went down too fast. Like, it was only rated for like
No.
3,500 feet or something like that. But they also
the glass, the
Yeah.
peephole that you have through it, was rated for 3,500,
yeah,
which is where they imploded. Did you know that? That
Yeah,
is
yeah.
where they imploded, was at 3,500 feet.
Yeah.
3,500 feet is all the glass could withstand. And I remember him denying having to pay more to go deeper. But you got to think of, right? Because this is also kind of a conspiracy on when and where and all that kind of good shit, where this bitch imploded, if it did implode, or if it just simply fucking all connections went out and it dropped to the bottom and imploded at 12,000 feet. You never know. Or if it fucking broke apart at 1,000 feet under the water and these people drowned to death. But you never know.
I believe the general consensus was that they just imploded, like, because like communication was lost, and I believe the U.S. Navy said that
Coast
they
Guard.
had recorded Coast Guard had recorded the actual implosion, like
the sound.
Yeah,
So-
the sound of the implosion.
So I've been deep into this shit. Basically, there's a lot of different things, right? So first off, the glass was only rated for 3,500 feet. The CEO would not pay for better glass, whatever the fuck. There is sound that was recorded by the vessel, but there's a lot of fake shit out there. So I'm not 100% about that. There's a TikTok going around that I've seen of the sound that was recovered from a GoPro or a camera or some shit on the bottom of the fucking ocean, which is bullshit. I know is, because the camera would not be alive at 12,500 feet. Basically it was a sound of it breaking apart and the people drowning, like sounds of the people drowning. So I already know that's bullshit. But there's tons of stuff that I've seen and heard. There's one of the ship that dropped them off that heard the boom,
Yeah,
that heard it go, and then no communication. The second that happened, no communication, which sounds of an implode.
Yeah.
Now, scientists are saying when something like that implodes, it shreds to 1,000 pieces, but that's not true. If that were true, then the Titanic would be in 1,000 fucking pieces. You got to think about it. And there's images I'm looking at right now of big ass pieces of the hull, and the peephole is completely intact with no glass in it. No glass in it.
Yeah.
The peephole is completely intact. The hole is intact. The engine area is completely intact. So now people are thinking, like, maybe it didn't implode. Maybe it broke apart before they got down far enough for it to implode like that. And think about it, at fucking that depth, when something implodes with the air inside, when it implodes, the pressure is so tight and it's like the molecules and shit hit each other so hard that the temperature of that implosion on the center is literally the same temperature as the fucking sun. As the, like, it is hot.
Yeah.
It gets it immediately, like, it was so fast that the people that died didn't even know.
They didn't
Like,
even
they
know,
they didn't see it, they didn't hear it. They were alive and they were dead.
And they were
just
not.
They had no idea. So, which is great.
Yeah, I mean, there's no suffering there. I guess that makes it better, I suppose. It's not like they were stuck down there like helplessly for a few hours, or what was it, like a few days? What everyone initially thought when
they
they
had
lost
96
connection?
hours of air.
Yeah, like I personally, I would believe that if I were to find out my family member was lost due to an implosion rather than suffocating from no air, I'd feel better, because at least it was quick and painless. Right? Like, there was no suffering. They didn't feel anything before they did. It was just done, lights out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, but now there's wreckage of the stuff coming up that they were amazingly able to get, where there's apparently human remains, but I already know that's bullshit. Because if you go to the Titanic, there's no bones. There's no human remains. There's none of that shit. You may think like, oh, it's been under the water for 100 years. No, because if you take a bone and you put 7 Eiffel Towers on it, it's gonna fucking crush into
It's gonna become
fucking
dust.
right? So there's no human remains. That's already fucking bullshit. But their clothes and shit will still be there, right? So that can kind of determine, like, you got to think of it in this way. If it crumbled at 3,500 fucking feet, boom, imploded, and all the shit fell down all the way down to 12,500 feet, it would be scattered fucking everywhere. Now, the images I've seen, it looks like the shit is close. So it's a simple investigation they got to do is see how close that fucking wreckage is together. If it's really close together and it's like within a fucking, I don't know, 40-foot radius in a little box, you could say, then that bitch imploded at like 11,000 feet type shit.
Yeah.
12,000 feet. So, either way, though, 3,500, 12,000, it was an instant death. And it's just crazy. It's just, I mean, it's not really that fucking crazy. You got to think of it in the sense of like,
I think it's not. It's just crazy because it's like the one time that it happened, right? Like it's the one time it happened. It's been recorded. Everyone knew about it. It could have happened before, and no one's really known about it.
yeah,
I think it's just because of how much media coverage that it got and widespread.
it got a lot of media coverage, and I think it's only because of the Titanic.
Yeah.
If they were just exploring on the bottom of the ocean, it would have got nothing. But that does confirm the Titanic does have 2 on us, and we have 0 on them, which is okay.
Yeah.
But
still
it
taking
made me
bodies
really,
to this day.
it really made me think. I'm getting a little more drunk now, so I'm gonna start talking historical type shit. It made me think like, holy fuck, like the Titanic. I started looking up images. I started looking up different things when it came to the Titanic. And I was like, what about other shipwrecks? And I just started going through all kinds of shipwrecks. I mean,
I have a
there's
YouTube video or a YouTube channel you might like. I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm just gonna say it before I forget it. But he does like documentary style YouTube videos on cruise shipwrecks and stuff like that. I think it'd be really unique up your alley if you've been looking up shipwreck stuff.
Dude.
I'll send I'll send it to you when we're done. But go ahead.
The ocean is insane. Like
70 something percent. I think it's 70% or 75% of our planet is covered by water.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, oh my god. I mean, the shipwrecks that you can find and shit. Like, there's shipwrecks on the shore of beaches.
Yeah.
There's shipwrecks deep underwater, like the Titanic, and there's shipwrecks like right underneath the surface. Like, think of Pearl Harbor. There's tons of shipwrecks. There's tons of aircraft that are scattering around fucking Pearl Harbor from the day of Pearl Harbor. And it's insane to really look and see like the actual effects of, I guess, over time. Like you see an aircraft that crashed right outside of Pearl Harbor by a Japanese pilot in the 1940s, and you look at it and you're like, damn, look at what time did to that.
Brother, just think that wasn't even 100 years ago. Just think of all the shit that happened fucking 1,000 years ago, right?
I know.
Like a millennia ago.
Oh yeah. It's a
shit that we're walking on top of every day that we don't even know about.
It's insanity.
Oh yeah, I love stuff like that.
I fucking love history.
History has always been a subject of mine in school that has intrigued me the most. I think that's the same for most people. But I think I
Mhm.
drew a special interest to it just because I love history so much. I don't know what it is, but like anything about history, I will sit there like a child and learn at 24 years
Oh
old. I'll
yeah. Oh yeah.
crisscross applesauce on the fucking floor, just
I
learning,
mean, just looking at these images, because I have some images pulled up. Just look up fucking shipwrecks on Google,
Oh,
and
yeah.
you can see the crazy shit. I mean, just imagine how these went down, how these ships went down. Imagine what happened, how these people felt, what were their
Mhm.
lives like. And it's like, there's one right there. Fucking someone discovered a fucking aircraft far outside of Pearl Harbor while
Yeah.
scuba diving. So it's like, it's
And
crazy. It's
I
it's
think
it's crazy.
it's even more wild when you think about that more people have been to space than they've been to our ocean floor, right?
Yep, yep.
It's just it's one of those things. I know it's common knowledge and I know it's kind of like beating a dead horse by saying that, but it's very wild that we still have not figured out everything that's under our water. Like I love the ocean. I love going to the beach. It's one of my favorite places. I love going there to relax. Even just sitting at nighttime when there's no one else there, just listening to the waves. It's probably my favorite thing to do. And I know a lot of people have a phobia of the ocean and stuff like that. I kind of get it, but at the same time, I'm like, but if I go down because of some giant squid when I'm on a boat or something, I'm fine. Like I get it. No one knows what the fuck's out there. At least I'll get to see it before I go.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's oh my god. It's crazy to see the history of things. Like actually having pictures. Like back then, we don't have a lot of pictures and videos. We do have quite a bit, but we don't have a lot of like. There's some shipwrecks from like the 1800s, bro. 1800s of ships that went down, and it's like, fuck, dude. That's something you can touch, that you can see, that you can be on to understand, or like not understand, but like be there and feel the history and be like, holy fuck. Like if
How
I
you?
if I were to ever become a billionaire, I wouldn't go and see the Titanic because that's deadly as fuck unless it's FDA approved. But I would definitely travel the fucking world and see, Pearl Harbor. I should
Yeah,
be getting orders here next year if I end up staying in the Marine Corps, and I could go to fucking Hawaii. Um,
yeah.
like, or even if I don't, it's a quick, easy trip. I could easily take a trip to Hawaii and get a cheap ass hotel room just for being in the military.
Yeah.
Which is something I'm really thinking about. And it's like just
Yeah,
traveling
I
the
don't
world and seeing, like, just being
I don't
able to
know.
scuba dive down to these ships and seeing the cannons sticking out of them holes,
You know what?
seeing that wood.
Maybe you and Josh should go get like a scuba license. I think you have to have a scuba license.
I have
Um
no idea.
because it's like you have to be trained how to scuba dive because it's not something that like
Yeah,
anyone can
yeah.
just pick up. Um but I think if you go get scuba lessons, I think that's something that like you and Josh could do. Like maybe just find like a babysitter for like a weekend or something and just go around to your local area, like local. You'd even do fucking like a lake or something super easy in your area and just go scuba diving, find some nice little treasures down there. And then from there, you get more time, learn how to do it better, understand it, your environment more comfortably. And then from there, you could do deeper dives and shit like that.
Hmm.
I think that's something you two could
I
do as
mean,
a
like,
couple.
it is crazy.
I would love to
Like,
do it, but I'm also afraid of like enveloping myself and stuff like that because I'm the type of person where I'll do shit without telling people. So like I'm afraid that like I would go scuba diving, not tell someone where I am or what I'm doing,
oh
and
yeah, that's me,
I would
dog. That's
die.
me.
I'm
That's
bad
me.
about that.
But it is. I definitely would be into that, especially to see like. I mean, they have like submarines that sink
Yeah.
and shit like that. They
My
have like old warships from the 1800s that
see
sink.
my thing I'd love to do is go visit like old battlefields. Not like
Oh yes,
not like
yeah.
not like battlefields that are like partially torn up, like battlefields that are still to this day destroyed from like cannon fire and shit. Like I know it's kind of cliche to do it, but going to Florida and going to like the different forts and shit down there and still seeing some of the like fucking massive chunks taken off from cannonballs and shit and stuff like that is really dope to me. I don't know why, but again, that's like the part of
It
history
is. No,
in me that
I in South Carolina while I was living there,
yeah.
there's an old Civil War battlefield with a fort and everything.
Okay.
And oh my god, dude, it was absolutely insane. I mean, unfortunately, in the place we're at, it was very well known, so there's graffiti and shit like that. But most of the parts of the fort was untouched, and it was insane. I remember standing there and looking over the wall where the cannon used to be, type shit,
Yeah.
and being able to see the like battlefield and shit. Like, oh my god. And then seeing where cannons hit the fort, where
Mhm.
gunshots hit the fort.
It's
Um
such a nice like being able to just kind of put yourself in those shoes for even just a second, right? Like cuz I think my favorite phrase I like to use when talking about history is like if I could be a fly on the wall, right? Like just putting yourself in that situation for a minute and just kind of enveloping yourself in that. To kind of go back to what we were talking about earlier, I do that with video games a lot. I do that a lot with video games, and that's why like the history behind video games is also why I get into a lot of the single players and stuff like that. It's I think the way you envelop yourself into like a history standpoint, if you did that with video games, you would have no problem with it. Like it's such like it's very nerdy for sure, but you have to kind of throw yourself into a deep dive of like put yourself into the shoes of that character, kind of like how you put yourself into the shoes of that soldier when you're standing at the fort or when you're standing out at the battlefield or just kind of even standing on an old fucking warship that they use for museums nowadays. Like
mhm.
I think it's really, I know it's kind of weird to say this, but kind of like a fall from grace of mankind where like we kind of went from that, very like brutal warfare to now just kind of like everything's done with the push of a button from halfway across the planet.
Yeah.
We've kind of lost that sense of like I was gonna say gain something, but it's more than gain. Like you've taken something, you've actually won a war, you've won a battle. It's not like you bomb something and then you're like, oh yeah, we got the bad guy, we win. Like warfare nowadays is so different, right?
Oh yeah. Oh
And
yeah. I mean,
and
shit,
part of me
Ukraine
loves
is
that
using
barbaric.
fucking
Sorry,
yeah, of course.
part of,
Barbaric is I love barbaric because like Ukraine is using fucking drones,
yeah.
like using drones where they don't risk anybody's life other than the enemies, like
Yeah.
is
And
is fucking insane.
it's a massive it see it's like a love-hate relationship with me because part of me loves the massive leap in technology that we have today, right? That we're able to hit a button and just halfway across the planet the enemy's gone. We don't need to worry about
Yeah.
them anymore and stuff like that. But at the same time, part of me also loves that feeling of like that sense of like accomplishment you get from actually winning a war. I've never been to war, so I'm speaking through a faucet of lies and nothing here, but I feel like that sense of like
haven't either.
success. But you're in the military, so you could. But I feel like that sense of success of like you've actually won a war, you fought something, you won hard for it. I feel like that would also encourage more citizens to be more patriotic, right? I feel like the sense of patrioticness for people towards their country, not even just America, right? Like people are just not being patriotic anymore. If we were to kind of have that similar, style of fighting nowadays, people would become more patriotic and kind of rally behind their country and their nation and feel like they're actually fighting something worthwhile. Whereas nowadays, a button's hit, a drone is struck, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, the lives of the innocent." It's like
Yeah.
hardly any innocents were ever in harm's way because of a drone. Usually, when a drone strike is taking place, it's under thorough investigation and precaution. There's nothing around. Cue up the fucking clown music of all the fucking world horrors everyone's committed because of innocents killed of drones. But I digress. It's one of those things where it's like the risk versus the reward is a lot higher now. because we have that instant ability to be able to capture whoever we want, get whoever we want, take out whoever we want in the push of a button, assuming we can. But back then it was you had to take miles of fucking land and actually set up camp and shit. So it's like there's a love-hate relationship to both for me, where it's like I love the idea of being able to hands-on combat, fighting for what you believe in, but I hate that idea of having to walk fucking hundreds of miles a day to be able to take the land.
It makes me think because, like, as I've been playing Red Dead Redemption 2.
Red Dead.
Like, some of the things they've been saying is fucking. It's like they've been talking about, or like in the story part that I'm in right now, is they're talking about all the law is in the West. We need to go, or no, the law's in the East. We need to go west.
We need to go west.
Yeah, we need to go west. The law's in the East. And it's like, that's when the government and the officials really started their fucking campaign for taking over everything, right? So like back then, way back in the 1800s, you could do whatever you wanted. You could fucking not really do whatever you wanted, but it was like you could run and nobody would know where you're at, and they wouldn't remember you a year later.
So from what I believe how it worked is everything was kind of set up by states. Lawmen, police forces, everything were set up by state. So in reality, if you committed a bank robbery crime in, say, Georgia, you could flee to Tennessee and they wouldn't be able to get you because there was no federal police officers to be able to go across state borders and get you, collect you, and take you back to where you need to go. It was around Red Dead 2 time, like 1890s, I believe, that they really started to push for like a federal bounty, kind of like people, federal agents being able to go across state borders and being able to take you and stuff like that. That's when the government really ramped that up. So that's what that kind of story takes place, is you're set up out east, but you need to push to the Wild West because there's no law there. There's no police officers. No one's going to come out there. And all this time you're running further and further west. And as you kind of go from one place to another, the federal agents are right there behind you, the Pinkertons or whatever they're called. I forget.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it, back then it was more free, but it was still a more harder part of life. Like it was, like I really thought about it, because I'm always thinking, like, what if I was born in this day? You know, what if I was born in this year? And if I was born in the 1800s, like 1810, my life would be hard. I'd have to fend for myself type shit. But I'd be more free doing it. Nowadays, I was thinking about it today or yesterday when we were fucking looking for a better grocery store to go fucking grocery shopping, to save more money. And I thought about it, I was like, damn, back in the day, they had to fend for themselves. They had to find their own food, this and that. Now, as a man, I don't have to fight or kill an animal
for your food.
I don't have to hunt for my own food.
Yeah.
I just go to a store and I got it. As long as I have money from working a job. It has nothing to do with getting food, you know?
Realistically, nothing's stopping you from hunting for your own food today. You could go and get your hunting license and go out and hunt deer and stuff like that. I mean, this is going to sound really fucking stupid to me. I don't really eat venison much because I don't like the taste of game, like the gamey taste in food like that, wild food. There are sometimes like deer jerky. I love deer jerky. That shit's unbelievably good.
The jerky is good.
Sometimes like a nice venison steak is okay, but it has to be like cooked a really nice way for me. I'm very picky with my game food, but I know you're not very picky with your food. So, I mean, nothing's stopping you from fucking grabbing a rifle, going out to a field and hunting.
Yeah.
You could still have that hunter gatherer feel if you want. It's just the convenience of going to a store where
yeah,
they've already
it is
done
the
that for you.
convenience, and it's something that's brought the world to a standstill with, hey, instead of
Everything's about
being a
convenience.
man, yeah, instead of being a man and going hunting for food for your family, you can go to a grocery store. So now there's no need for men, you could say. Now we've got machines. Now we've got this, we've got that, we've got AI, all that kind of shit. And it's really bringing down, I guess, the want for men.
Um,
Because I mean, you got to think about it. Back in the day, I mean, I watched a movie. Hold on, I watched a movie. Let me text my fucking wife and make sure I've got this right. Hold on, hold on.
I don't think like the world nowadays is like replacing men or anything. I think it's just more so um because there's still jobs that require like heavy lifting and stuff like that like not a lot of females will want to do, right? Like I think it's very clear in color of like what is kind of beyond our reach as people. It's not even just like a male female
Yeah,
thing. It's like because I know a couple of females that I'm friends with that work like factory labor jobs where they pick up like 200-pound fucking engines and shit. And I'm like, that's a man job, but they're fucking doing it because they need money, right? But at the same time, it's like any other female in my life's not going to do that because they're not built like that. They can't lift up that shit that's
right.
heavier
Yeah,
than them.
I mean,
So
it's like the
there's
movie.
there's still a lot of jobs that require like heavy lifting that like men can do pretty easily because we're used to heavy lifting like that. At least you are.
I watched this movie the other night with my wife. It's called
Yeah.
Love Comes Softly.
Okay.
It's a movie made in like 2001, I want to say, but it was
Okay.
dated for like the 1800s.
Okay.
And basically, it started with this woman. Um, she was traveling with her husband that she just married. They were gonna find a plot of land that they could live on and build a house on. At this point of time, no land was owned. If you found a plot of land, you can build on it. Free land, right? And so 7 generations down the line, your family could be like, "Oh, this land is worth $1 million fucking dollars." And so, they found the plot of land. The husband died days later from an accident. He bumped his head on a rock. Boom, he's fucking dead. There's no fucking hospital. There's no fucking helivac. Some bullshit. But basically, this man came to her after her husband's funeral. Was like, "Hey, miss, like, you're alone now. Like, you have nothing. So, I have a daughter. My wife died a year ago. Would you be willing to marry me to help both of our needs?" Like, thinking back then to the 1800s, that's how shit was. A woman on her own, and this isn't anything with all the controversy shit going on nowadays. This is how it was. This is facts. This is historic. This is how shit was back in the day. It's not the same nowadays. Let's not get shit twisted. But he was like, you can't live on your own as a woman. You can't provide for your own needs as a woman without a man. And
it was a lot harder in those days.
yeah. And so she ended up marrying him a day after she met him. And they got married. She stayed at his place that, he built his own house, his cabin, whatever you want to call it. He had a farm with horses, animals, chickens, all that kind of good shit.
Yeah.
And then she ended up falling in love with him. Ended up staying instead of going way back home, thousands of miles away. And it just really made me think, like, holy fuck, like, back in the day, there couldn't be a single woman. Like, that's just how it was.
Yeah.
You couldn't be single. Even a man. You couldn't be a single man because men need women. Women need men. And the reason for that is because men are doing all the bullshit work, hard bullshit stuff. Well, it's not hard for us. It's what we know. It's what we're generated to be. It's what we're generated to do. And we're built to go out and hunt game, hunt animals, farm, all that kind of good shit. And the woman is meant to do, you know, the cooking, the cleaning, all that kind of stuff, because men are doing the hard bullshit work because we're just built to do the hard bullshit work, because the woman is meant to grow and take care of the children, which in my eyes, being a father of one and a soon to be father of two, as my wife is pregnant, the growing of a child inside of a woman and then her taking care of my son every single day while I'm at work is worse than my daily job and what I have to do when I get home. I have it good.
Children
I
are
have
a
it good.
handful. They really
They are a fucking handful, especially when I come home and he goes, "Dada," and I'm like, and I pick him up. I got to go stream because it's my schedule. I've got to make some extra little money streaming and shit. And all he wants to do is come in my room and fuck with all my shit.
I think what that is a matter of like, that's him trying to subtly give you a sign that like you need to just kind of like back away from it for a second. Kind of take yourself away from this space. Kind of, be around your family for a little bit. And I'm only saying this because I kind of see it with my sister, who does also have a daughter. She definitely kind of doesn't understand that, being a mother, sometimes her daughter just wants to spend time with her. And you doing, getting home from work and trying to relax a little bit and then trying to stream for a little bit, doesn't really feed you a whole lot of time to sit down and just play with your son, right? And as a kid, I believe it's very imperative that as a parent, you interact with them, because that's what they're like yarning for, right? They don't know much else other than mom and dad and the shit they have in the house, right?
Yeah.
So I think what you just need to do is just find more of a routine where like whenever you get home from work, you just kind of play with your son a little bit.
No, I do. No, that's
because
not the thing.
As you get older, as he gets older, he'll kind of like learn, obviously, because he's still really young now. He's what, 2?
Oh, yeah, he's 2. Yeah,
just turned 2. Yeah, he'll learn as he gets older. I think Haven, my niece, has done a really good job at that. Like as she's gotten older, she's kind of learned that everyone just kind of wants their own time. So like it's just because he's 2. The terrible 2s are really gonna hit hard for you, especially. But no, I do get overall what you mean, to go back to what you're saying. Like a man needs a woman just as a woman needs a man. I do want to say though that I believe that should kind of show the improvement of us as humans and kind of like our way of thinking. We've made it to where like really you could be a single parent and still survive. Like yeah, it'll be fucking rough. Don't get me wrong. You're not going to have a great time.
Women can survive nowadays without men.
But they can.
Yeah.
They can, absolutely. I think it's more like I'm more impressed of like the improvement in humanity and kind of like everything we've set up in ways like as government and we as people, how we kind of like view single parents and stuff like that. I think it is kind of dope that the world we live in is kind of built around the fact of like it's made for 2 people, but you can definitely do it with one. Like,
yeah, I mean that's just how things have come nowadays.
I look at it as a video game, right? Like it's a co-op video game meant for 2, but I don't have another person. I'm single. I could do it by myself.
Yeah.
Not having a great time. I'm not
like
having
things
fun,
nowadays makes that a lot more. I'm not trying to get conversational. Yeah, sure. I'm not trying to be someone that doesn't believe in another.
Controversial.
I'm not trying to be controversial about this. Because one, everybody has their own opinions.
Yeah.
2, everybody has their own experiences.
Yeah, of
And in
course,
my
right?
experience, I've been married for like 5 years. We have a
Yeah.
son, we have one on the way. We are a very ideological household in the sense of my wife doesn't work. My wife stays at home all day. I go to work every
But
day. I
she's
make the
cool with
money.
that.
Absolutely. I'm cool with that.
You're
She
cool with that.
does.
She's cool
She
with that.
cleans
Yeah.
the house. She takes care of the child. And it's like she's really good at it.
Yeah,
Now,
she's
if she
great, to be fair.
wanted to take my GI Bill and go to college and start a job, guess what? Nowadays, absolutely. Like, do it. I'll support you. We'll get him in childcare, whatever the deal is.
Yeah.
That's how it is nowadays. She
I
wants a
think
job, she'll get a fucking job, and I'm okay with that.
I do truly believe that while you have the ability, she probably should. Because you're in the military, you can put your kids in childcare for as long as she's in school. Like
childcare in the
it'll be
military
rough.
is not the same. It's not as great as you may think.
I'm
Yeah,
I'm
it's really
sure
bad.
I'm
She
sure you
worked.
could
No, so
you could
she-
find something in your area.
Before I went on my last deployment, she worked at a childcare that my son was also going to during the same time she was working there. And
Yeah.
it was absolutely fucking horrible. Like, they treated my son like shit. They treated her like shit. Like, it was so bad. It was bad, but I mean,
Maybe
because I'm not going to college, so like, if she
maybe-
wants to go to college.
Well, yeah,
Run
that's
it.
what I mean is like maybe even just send her to college because like you gotta think about it, right? Like while you have the ability, take advantage of it, right? You don't want to find
Absolutely.
yourself 10, 20 years down the line, you're out of work. She has no ability to find work.
Yes, Daddy.
I think it would just be great overall while you have the ability for her to at least get that set up, right? I mean,
yeah.
because like she could probably even set it up because she's a mom where she only goes to school like 2 or 3 days out of the week. So you'd only have to find a babysitter for 2 to 3 days out of the week or something like that.
Yeah, I mean,
financially it would probably suck, but
I mean, we're thinking more of after if I get out, because I'm gonna be in for 8 years and then I'll end up getting out. And the reason why I'd get out, I mean, it's honestly I just want to go home.
Just want to go home, yeah.
I mean, it's like
should probably start looking for houses and stuff.
Well,
like
I mean,
that.
no. Here's the thing: is like I saw my stepmom, which is more like my mother. To be honest, she's more like my mother. I saw her for the first time in like 2.5 years.
Yeah.
2.5 years I went without seeing my mother. And my actual mother, I haven't seen her like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Because I am in the military. I live so far away. And it really sucks. It really sucks. Even not seeing you, seeing Hannah, seeing Josh, seeing Mary.
It does suck.
It sucks. And like they all came up for the last weekend and I was like, fuck, dude. And then whenever I talked to my stepmom and I was like, we were talking about memories and shit like that, how I treat her like shit. It was huge. It was like it was a very step back when we actually talked. We talked face to face.
I think it's the word you're looking for.
Yeah, when we talked face to face, it was like that was 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And we're talking about it like it was yesterday because we feel like it's yesterday because we haven't seen each other in 3 years.
Yeah.
And it was like, fuck.
Yeah, I think it is
not getting to see my nephew in years is
true.
hard.
Fuck.
Not my son not getting to see his grandfather and his grandmother.
You just want to be closer
to.
You just want to be closer to family.
Yeah,
I think
sucks.
you're kind of at
also
that
the
point.
sacrifice. That's also the sacrifice. It's one of the sacrifices that not a lot of people know, which is okay. Which I think is why the military is actually very even with their benefits and all of that, because in reality, as an E5, a sergeant in the Marine Corps, I've been in for 6 years. I make about $70,000 a year, um, which is not a lot for doing a
Yeah.
career for 7 years. But I also get health insurance. I
Yeah.
get free college.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other things if I
There's a-
do.
I think it's one of those things where like the military, like there's definitely a lot of cons, but they do really well to try and outweigh them with the pros.
They do. They do. I mean, if anybody's thinking about joining the military just to start up their lives, join it. Join the Marine Corps just to do college and get started up.
Do a couple years.
I recommend it. I recommend it. Do 4 years and get out, Do 4 years, get out, whatever you want to do, Not only did you fight for your country, you have that veteran card for the rest of your life, but also like it's a huge change in your life, and it's
Yeah.
for the better. It's for the better no matter what, cuz I've been in the position of where Eli is in now. He's just starting out. He's getting people younger than him telling him what to do and telling him to shut the fuck up type shit.
Yeah. We talked
I'm
about
in
that
the-
last podcast.
Yeah, I'm in the position now where I'm in charge of those types of Marines, where I'm the one telling a 28-year-old or 30-year-old when I'm 24 to shut the fuck up and do what I say. And it's like,
Yeah.
it's something else, It does a massive change in your life. It's
Yeah.
very, very beneficial for you to do 4 years and get out. Whether you do
Yeah.
4 or you do 20, it doesn't matter. You still served for one. For two, you learned an epic life lesson. And you learned so much shit. You learned so much shit in the 4 years that you're in. And you get free college where you can get out after 4 years and make triple what you're making in the military.
But like you're just a walking like recruiter for the military. You're just like, yeah, dude, come on.
I
fuck
mean,
it,
yeah,
4
only when
years.
I'm drunk, but if I'm sober,
then-
I'll tell you to fuck off.
And then,
don't do
because
it.
this is the second pod, like literally, I think you've said those exact words in the last podcast, like word for word too.
Probably.
You are a walking recruiter for the Marine Corps.
I ain't doing it, bro. I ain't doing it.
Hey, government, pay this man more. Pay this man more. He is doing, just do 4 years, but he doesn't remember. At 4 years, he was like, fuck, I'm not ready to leave. I don't know what to do. I have nothing planned. You're going to do 8 years. When you sign up just expecting 4, you're going to do 8.
Yeah. We'll see. But
Is there anything else you want
history,
is there anything else you want to talk about?
gaming, we went through so much shit.
We went through a lot,
Podcast.
yeah. We really
Every
did.
podcast is fun. It's exhilarating. We go through so much shit. The Titanic is still at the bottom of the sea.
I would
the
hope
Olympic-
it doesn't go anywhere else.
Yeah, the Olympic is now at the top of the sea. But yeah, this was great, dude. This was great.
Yeah,
I had a blast. Thank you all for coming.
Yeah.
Now, what do you rate your drink, Justin? How drunk? you got? Oh, and by the way,
It got me. I didn't have to drink a lot to really get a good buzz. I will say. I think I rated it 7.5 earlier. Out of taste, it's not terrible. And on a scale of drunkenness, I'll give it about a 6.5. Only like a 1 point
6.5?
lower. Yeah,
fuck.
not bad.
Shit.
Not bad at all.
Oh shit. Oh fuck. We gotta do the fucking 4th of July.
Oh yeah. Oh, I think your son's ready.
You got anything to fucking celebrate to? God, I'm so.
Not available right this minute. Like I said, we just moved, so we don't really have a whole lot.
Fuck, dude, I gotta piss so bad. God.
All right, well let's get this shit going. Let's hear the banjo music.
So basically, hold on. I gotta rate my drink, you fucktard. So,
Well, you're trying to fucking shot your Michelangelo.
so on the rate of drunkenness, right? First off, I'm using a knife. Be careful with knives. Knives are very dangerous. Oh my god, what am I doing right now? For gimlet,
Yeah,
straight
yes.
gin, 2 of them, which is 10 shots. 10 shots of gin. for everything put together, it's a 9.0, dude.
Damn.
9.0. It is one of my most favorite drinks. It's one of the most greatest drinks I've had. It's so easy to make, so easy to get. It's
Yeah. Okay.
but
all right.
yeah. So
Dude, hell yeah. I think
Thank
the
you
Voodoo
all.
Ranger and the Gimlet is two things you have rated highly so far.
oh my god, Gimlet! I've been drinking them for a while.
That
Voodoo Ranger's
you
up-
rated both of them above a 9.0.
yeah,
both of
they
them.
are so my most favorite fucking drinks. Now,
Hell yeah.
now we're about to get into rating things that are under that I have never tried. But I
Oh.
gotta piss, so I'm gonna shotgun this beer in the spirits of 4th of July.
Hell
Thank
yeah.
you to America. Thank you for the war fighters out here. This is a Michelob Ultra. I don't know how to chug, so here we go. And we'll fucking see you later. You need to get some beers on standby for shit like that.
After our beer episode, I'm
Pathetic.
good. I'm good.
You're pathetic. It hurts my feelings.
I'm not as
I'll see
patriotic.
y'all. I'll see y'all.
Dun, 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 dun. He's fucking go on the boy. Go on the boy.
Oh,
Oh,
oh
go
god.
on the boy.
Make sure you check us out on YouTube to see what the fuck just happened.
Yeah,
Oh god, I'm gonna burp so hard. I gotta piss so bad.
All right.
Thank you for being here. Like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of good shit.
Yep.
We'll see y'all next time.
See you in the next one.
Peace.